Hey YouTube, Aiden here. Reminder, if you want to lesson with me, check the link in the description. This is the NAMM REPORT 2020. Sorry I can't record this with my voice and put pictures over it because I have no Zoom recorders right now. The H4 that I borrow is with the person it belongs to, and the Zoom H1 that I own is being borrowed, so I have nothing. So, let's talk about NAMM. I don't think this is going to be super long, but let's check it out. So this is NAMM 2020, Anaheim, California, the, North American Music Makers. I can't remember what the acronym actually stands for. The point is, it's a big show that's really meant for music stores, people who are going to buy instruments kind of like in bulk to distribute. They go to these kind of things to check out what they want to have in their music stores or what they want to distribute. And so companies that want to sell things to distributors, to stores, go to NAMM show. Companies that don't need any more distribution, they have enough stores or storefronts, or they do everything over the internet or whatever, they don't go to NAMM. So there's kind of a gap in the NAMM lineup of cool manufacturers who don't need any distribution, so they just don't show up, which is kind of lame, but just how it is. I go to NAMM because it's like 45 minutes away, and I usually get in for free. So let's check it out. I'm reading off my notes. It's been a couple weeks, so forgive me if I've forgotten things. And I just have the manufacturers in a random order. So starting with Courtois. They didn't bring any of the fun New Yorker stuff. They have the New Yorker line that has the Weston Sprott tenor trombone and the Denson Paul Pollard bass trombone. They didn't bring those, so I can't tell you how they were. Last year they did bring them, and I didn't especially like the Paul Pollard model, the bass trombone, but I did like the Weston Sprott model. It doesn't really mean anything now because they didn't have them. But they did have the AC 502, which is their intermediate basic pro bass trombone. I thought it was highly okay. Just like it sounded technically like a bass trombone, and it felt okay in the hands. I mean, if it was really cheap, I'd consider one as a backup, but I'm pretty sure they're not cheap. I don't know. It just was not inspiring at all. They had an AC 420H, AC 420BH. I can't remember what the actual designation is, but that's their large tenor with the Hagman valve. It's basically a Bach 42 made by Courtois. All the materials are the same. All the design elements are the same. I really liked it. I like Bach 42s with Hagmans, and Courtois kind of just makes a more refined one. Doesn't have some of the Bach character, but it is maybe a little easier to play. I don't know, I liked it. They had another AC 420BO, I think is the name, which is kind of like a 42BO copy. It just has a rotor instead of a Hagman. And I thought it was awful. Something about the valve, maybe it wasn't set up right. Maybe that's how it just is. The F side just felt horrendous. So, 0 points. Did not like it at all. They had the Extreme 508, so like their jazz horn and the 3B style, a little bit larger. What I would play if I had a Courtois. I really liked it. They had a yellow bell and a gold bell version. I only played, or maybe red bell, I guess. I only played the yellow bell. I like it. I don't like it any more than my 3B. And I think I'll talk about that in the end. This might be 2 videos, maybe even 3. It has the curved hand grip where the left hand goes, kind of, and I don't really dig those. It's supposed to make it more ergonomic, but it kind of forces my hand into a place that I don't like. So that's something I don't really dig. Moving on to Bach, that was all the Courtois stuff that I really checked out. The best bass trombone they had was the 50A3, so the one with Hagmans, 2 Hagmans, and independent setup. It responded really well. It felt nice and beefy, nice and Bach 50E. I had good feedback. I could tell what I was doing, even in the showroom exhibits. Honestly, it just didn't feel bad in any way. It's kind of the first one that I've played, I think, in any situation ever where I was like, I would buy this. I've played, and obviously I had a 50A3 for a while. I was borrowing from a friend. and I just would constantly run into things that I really hated, even when there were things I really liked. And just, playing it for like 5-6 minutes on the showroom floor, this one didn't seem to have any of those tendencies. So super surprised by that. It also looked like they maybe, and I'm not confirmed on this, maybe have fixed the manufacturing issue that put the bell in the wrong place and made the whole horn flat. So if they fix that, awesome. I couldn't exactly tell. I'd have to have two horns side by side and check the dimensions and stuff. But really happy with that. They had a 50 AF3G, so it has the infinity valves, the Olsen axial valves with the ball bearings, with a gold bell, and I thought it was all right. I wasn't blown away. Last year they brought a yellow bell version that was my favorite bass at the show by far. It was amazing. If I had had the money, I would have bought that, and I would probably still have it now. It was just like mind-blowingly good. This horn was not. It was better than I think probably 60% of the 50 AF3s I've played, but not any better than that. It felt really heavy. The bell felt really thick. The kind of more modern gold bells that Bach makes are just a really thick gauge, and I just don't really dig that. The valves were just kind of slowish. The response was really slow. It felt like my Einelschmidt valves, actually, which were also very slow to respond. Just like you would, there was like a literal delay in your articulation and then what came out of the bell. And that's just kind of disheartening to play, to just like constantly be behind. So not super stoked about that horn. I'd like to play that exact setup with a yellow bell and see if it was the bell at fault. They had a 42 BOF. This is the Bach 42 with the open flow valve, the Einelschmidt valve that I used to have in a tenor size, of course. They just used the Artisan wrap, so it's just a Olsen valve with the same wrap as the Artisan that I just had, and they're really good. It might be the best stock Bach 42 that they've ever made. I don't know, that's hard to say because there's been a lot of good ones. And I haven't really played a bad one with the Olsen rotor yet, so honestly, really solid choice if you have to buy one sight unseen. I think that's about the only one that I would probably buy without playing it first. And even then, I'd rather play it first. Cool, really liked it. One of the best large tenors on the floor, I think. They had a 42 AG, so the Hagman with a gold bell. I thought it was really good too. I don't know, I dug it. I usually like Hagman tenor trombones. I played a lot of 42As, the Courtois, some Adams will come up later, and I usually like them a lot, so something about that. I usually don't like the Hagmans on bass quite as much. They had an LT16M, which is the same jazz tenor trombone that I owned a while back, 508 single bore with a light slide, yellow everything else. And it's like the Bill Watrous setup, so it has a different lead pipe and an open neck pipe. Usually they're really quirky. The one I had was very quirky. I kind of like the sound. It wasn't too hard to play. It wasn't easy to play. They had one last year that I didn't think was very good at all. This year was really, really good. It was probably my favorite jazz tenor on the show, on the showroom floor. Just kind of even, is easy to play, really flexible. The high range was in tune. The high B flat was not flat like it was on mine. I just really liked it. I want a small bore Bach tenor trombone to use in big bands when I'm not playing third, and that would have been perfect. I don't want to buy one new, so that's kind of out of the question, but that would be one that I would buy if I had the money. And they had a 3B and a 2B because they're made by Conn-Selmer. Obviously they're not Bach's, but they're all the same company. The 3B I thought was pretty good. I have not played a bad 3B. For whatever that means, I've never played one that I just was like, ugh. And the ones at the show the last couple of years, maybe even 3 years, have all been pretty good. I don't know. The lead pipe in mine is definitely more open, and I really enjoy that. If I got one from any period, I'd probably have the lead pipe swapped because I really like just how easy mine is to play with a new lead pipe. They had a 2B, and it's weird, this is pretty common, but the 2B is more open than the 3B, just due to the lead pipe design. And I really liked it, but it's hard for me to dial all the way down to the 2B size trombone, so I would stick with the 3B. That's going to do it for this video, and I'll have another one with the other manufacturers, probably maybe 2 more videos right after this.